all beer.
Alright folks, step on up. You can hear just a little better closer towards me. This isn't cold, this is only 50. You guys go on the finisher tour, it's all the way down to 34 degrees. Alright guys, welcome to the Beechwood Aging Cellars. Now we've got the convenient take-home size tanks for you guys here today. Each one of these tanks is about 20 feet in diameter and 60 feet long. Each one of these tanks holds, like the sign says above me, 3,600 barrels of beer. Now a barrel of beer in the brewing industry is 31 gallons. If you do the math, that's just under 112,000 gallons per tank. To give you guys a better factoid to have a little more fun with, here's how much beer is in here, different terms. If one of you were to drink one 12-ounce beer every hour of every day, so that's a case of beer a day, you do that for a full year, it's going to take you just over 134 years to drink one of these tanks dry. Anybody up for the challenge? If you're successful, we'll put your name on the wall of fame right here. It's blank. All right, there are 66 of these tanks in this building, 374 of them around the entire St. Louis campus. These tanks are Beechwood aging tanks. Bud and Bud Light get Beechwood aged. Just those two brands get Beechwood aging. So in the bottom of these tanks rests a layer of Beechwood chips, just like you see in front of me in this chip torpedo. It looks just like that inside these tanks. It's about 1.5 feet deep. The Beechwood provides additional surface area for the yeast to sit on while it's interfacing with the beer. That's the only reason we use Beechwood, is to increase surface area. The Beechwood imparts no flavor whatsoever to the beer. So we harvest the Beechwood trees, we will dry and cure them for about 3 months. We will then cut the trees into those Beechwood chips that you guys just handled, and then we will thoroughly wash these chips to make sure that they impart no flavor whatsoever to the beer. Again, it's strictly used as a media for the yeast to sit on. Okay? If the Beechwood was not in these tanks, the yeast would form a really thick blanket and it wouldn't be able to do its job as effectively. So the Beechwood gives us more surface area. After 5 or 6 batches, depends on what the brewmasters say, the Beechwood has come to the end of its useful life for brewing. But we're not just going to throw it away in the landfill. We take these chips and we grind it up into mulch that will then be distributed to parks in the cities and towns where we have our breweries. So for instance, Forest Park, the nature trails out there, if you guys are ever walking around out there, chances are really good that you're walking on top of some Beechwood chips. It all goes back to reduce, reuse, recycle. We have a 99.99% recycling rate across all 12 of our U.S. breweries. We also recycle grain for brewing. I'll tell you about that in a minute. So Bud and Bud Light sit in these tanks for 18 to 21 days. While that's happening, there's a process that we introduce called krausening. We'll take a freshly yeasted shot of wort, put it in these tanks. It helps develop the natural carbonation. And then after 18 to 21 days, the beers are finished over at the finishing cellars, and then we send it down to the packaging plant. Any questions? Raise your hand if you have a question. All righty, we're going to head down to the brew house now. You guys are going to turn around and you're going to follow Barbie down to the brew house. This will be your first sampling opportunity for any